one of the things that was missing on the car was the eye for the BiTurbo badge. Luckily, I got sent one from someone on the Facebook group who had a spare badge, because that whole badge is nearly £200 from BMW. So obviously it's used, hasn't got the sticky on the back. Not sure I'm going to do it one-handed. Tape, so I'm going to put that on. We'll get that done, and then, well, in a few weeks' time I need to get the steering wheel removed, and that needs to be sent off for its retrimming, which is being done after Christmas. So I've managed to get a piece of tape on there now. The interesting bit is going to be trying to stick it on, getting it dead on. So I've stuck a piece of cardboard on there, give me a template, and I'm going to use these tweezers to basically get it in the right spot. Let's see if this actually works. If you're wondering why the car's running, it's because the battery was actually almost dead and I haven't used it for a little while. Happy with that? Thumbs up. So the next job I need to do is take the airbag off to get the steering wheel off. It's going in for a refurb on the it's being done on the 27th of December, obviously with the Christmas post and stuff. I want to get this sent off pretty early so it's done. So first things first, I'm going to disconnect the battery and leave the car for a while, and then come back, get the airbag off, get the steering wheel off, get it all wrapped up and ready to send. I was hoping to have the car back in my lockup, but I haven't been able to get it over there. There's another car in there, so yeah, it's going to have to sit on the drive. And as you can see where it's parked, I'm not really sure. Obviously I need to get in the boot to take the battery off, so I'm going to have to push it around a bit by hand in the meantime. Battery down here, so I'm just going to whip the negative off, obviously once the car's not running. So it hasn't run for a little while, so I was a bit worried the battery might be flat. Actually it was almost flat a few weeks ago, but I'm just going to let it run for a few minutes and then I'll get that battery removed. So we just want 10mm. Would be easier with this. far off. Right, so that's off. And we'll just give it at least half an hour and then we can get the airbag removed. And if you're wondering how I'm going to get the boot open again, now the battery's disconnected. On the pre-LCI models they had a key hole, pretty similar to what you do here, where you take the key out and I haven't got the key on me now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, where you can take the key out using that little button there. And you get the key, but that isn't on the LCI models. So what you can do, obviously put jump cables, positive there, negative there. This is the jump area for jump starting anyway. If you put 12 volts on that, then it gives you power to the boot, and then you can open the boot as you would normally. Right, so we're 2 or 3 hours later now because I got busy doing other stuff, but it's time to take the airbag off. So all you need is a reasonably small screwdriver, and you can just about see the dimple there where it's actually like a soft area, and you can actually get the screwdriver behind. And I'm not going to try and show you the process from here because it's too difficult, but once I've got the airbag off I can sort of show you what you're actually trying to do. But you're effectively putting the screwdriver in and pushing on a spring which is holding the airbag on. And then what you've got on the back there is 2 clips which we have to take off. That's for the wiring, and then basically we can withdraw the airbag. So you can see I've just got a screwdriver in, clipped. You sort of pull this clip up and then they should just come off the back of the airbag. So there it is, removed. So if I put the screwdriver in, you'll see it's coming up in this area here, and basically it's just pushing on that spring. And that's where the airbag locates, in those 2 things there on those lugs. The next thing to do is take that off. Looks like I'm going to have to undo this as well. And yeah, the rest of this, these need to be unplugged. They'll stay with the steering wheel. And then make sure the steering wheel's straight. I've not sure on these. On most of the steering wheels I've taken off in the past, they're sort of splined, so you can put them on sort of any direction, but they can sort of be a little bit off. I'm not sure if this has got a key on it or whether it's the same, but as long as it's straight when we take it off, I'm not going to be moving the car anyway, so it should go straight back on in the same direction. So this is a 16mm socket with an extension. You'll see how tight this is. In the past I've had some pretty tight bolts on steering wheels, although these are smaller than some of the older cars. Some of the older cars I've worked on from the 80s, they've had a lot bigger nuts on them. And then obviously getting the steering wheel off, you don't want to be sitting right in front of it, or you want to be very careful, because if you just try and pull it, sometimes they hit you in the face. It's not fun. And there we have one steering wheel removed. And actually I didn't have to remove that small one there, but that can now be sent off for retrimming. Finally got the box back with my steering wheel. Just want to open this as carefully as possible. I don't obviously want to cut into the wheel. Carefully cut through, ensure that I don't go anywhere near leather. Now, as you can see, it's got the blue stitching on the top and the green stitching on the bottom, which is factory. And then Matt has really nicely, really kindly also restored this panel for me, and well, he said it wasn't very good condition underneath, so it wasn't the best of jobs, but to be honest, I'm really impressed with that. So we need to get that back on the car. If you want the details for Matt, especially if you want to get your Alpina wheel changed, or should I say retrimmed, because he is the only one, as far as I know, that can do the factory straight stitching as opposed to cross stitching. Sorry about the shadows there. but that is so much better than it was before. So, back in the car. Finally, after 3 or 4 weeks, I can get the steering wheel back on. So I haven't moved the car, so as long as I basically put this on straight, and I hope it goes on the same way as it came off. Definitely there. Centre bolt. Now we'll be torquing this up correctly, but for now I just want to get it put on, and I'll put the torque setting on the screen once I've checked what it is. And then we need to put these cables back in. So let me go and get my torque wrench and then I'll put the cables in. So this is all torqued up now, and make sure that I can get these both in. Okay, they're both in. And now I need to just plug this in. So green on green, I'm going to have to do it this way around, I'm afraid, because of the way that they're facing. Things pushed down, everything's done up, and then we can just push that in. And there we go. Hard to get a decent view of it, especially with the horrible day, but so the next step now is get the car moved forward and get the jump leads onto the terminals in the engine bay so I can open the boot, and then I can get the battery reconnected. Ready with this because I'm likely to lose. Okay, bonnet boot's open. Okay, that's the battery back on. Let's do it up. It's working. Last thing to do, well, I need to change the clock. Let's just go to settings, time and date. Now I just hope there's enough charge in the battery. So that's the steering wheel fitted, and I'm really happy with that. So big thanks to Matt from MPM Trimming. As far as I know, he is the only guy in the country, or certainly the only one that's known of, that can do the proper straight stitch for the Alpina wheels, and he uses the original Alpina stitching as well. So really happy with that. And if you've got an Alpina, or any car, but if you've got an Alpina specifically, then I'd really recommend having it retrimmed by Matt. So I've taken the car for a drive, driving really well, except then I started losing boost and it went back into limp mode, which it hasn't done since before I had the lambda sensor done. So it's going to have some more investigation there. But it's nice to have the car back on the road, and I guess the next thing will be some more investigation on the engine management light, and then trying to think what else is coming up. I've got a few other bits and pieces to do on the car still. Well, I've still got quite a lot to do on the car, but I've got a few other things going on at the moment, so that will probably be pushed back until at least February. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see you later.